morning everyone. Today's topic is definitions of femininity and masculinity, written by Sujata Sen. This prescribed essay, Definitions of Femininity and Masculinity, is an extract from the book called Gender Studies. Sujata Sen is a professor in the Department of Sociology, University of Kalyani at West Bengal. She has been teaching since 2 decades, that is sociology. She has been teaching sociology since 2 decades. And she has contributed essays on gender, sociological theory in several national journals and edited volumes. The prescribed essay, as I said before, is from a bigger text called Gender Studies. So this is just an extract that is prescribed for you. Now, what is this essay all about? This helps us to understand the various social processes that is enforced by various social institutions to strengthen the gender definitions of femininity and masculinity. Now, who comes up with these terms as femininity and masculinity? What is the process? Who or what decides who is a feminine and what is masculine? What are the attributes or what are the traits that are supposed to be called as feminine or masculine? Let me read out the definition for you about what is masculinity and what is femininity. The term masculinity and femininity refers to traits or characteristics typically associated with being male or female respectively. Discrimination against women depends on the construction of femininity and masculinity. So that is why it is very important to understand what is the difference between femininity and who defines femininity or masculinity. Now, femininity implies that naturally women are very delicate, they are attractive physically, sensitive psychologically, and intellectually they are inferior to men. And what are her duties? Nurturing the family is her duty and this should be her priority. On the contrary, a man should never cry, which we quite often we have heard our parents tell it to your brothers or your younger brothers or elder brothers. Whenever they cry, the boys are told not to cry. Men don't cry. Whereas when a girl cries, how do the parents console them? They try to pamper the girl, try to tell her not to cry, and try to tell her stop crying, and try to give her chocolates and try to pamper her. Whereas when a boy cries, what are the words used to console them? Saying that you're strong, men should never cry, be a strong boy. So unlike his sister, a brother will never be allowed to cry, or in case he cries, this is what they say, a man should not cry. Work or help in the kitchen, unlike his sister or mother, he should be dashing, he should be ambitious, successful, and experimenting with life itself, since he is the provider. So male is seen as the breadwinner here, and women are just meant to stay back at home, take care of the family, nurture the family, take care of the kids. So that should be her only priority. Moving on, to understand what and how of such definitions of masculinity and femininity, it is necessary to understand which are the various social processes that enforce them. So here are some of the social processes that enforce femininity and masculinity. The first one being the family. So family plays a very important role in our lives. So family is an institution which plays major role in enforcing gender stereotypes. In earlier times, women were confined to the 4 walls of the house, and she was always busy with the household chores, looking after the husband, taking care of the children. In fact, all that the woman had to do is, her role was only to make sure that she creates a heaven at home. When the husband comes back from his work, it should be a very peaceful atmosphere, and make sure that he is comfortable, take care of his necessities and demands. And all that she had to do is take care of the family, take care of being a mother, take care of her children and husband, and nurture them. In this process, she was also at the receiving end of the male stress and tension. She had no legal rights, she had no social rights, and all this familial and domestic work, domestic abuse, that could be both physical and mental, she was at the receiving end. So whenever the husband is stressed out or due to some reason, all his frustration would be let out on the wife at home. All this used to happen at the earlier times, but now things are changing. thanks to education. Across the world, the concept of family is also changing. From joint family, we have moved on to nuclear, from nuclear to single parent family. So attitude towards domestic labor of women is also slowly changing. So we can see women stepping out of the four walls of the house. They are no more confined to the four walls, and they're also becoming economically independent. And this is what the feminism questions such gender existence, and they are fighting for the equal rights of women. Now, gender definition emerges naturally from biological differences as well. Right from childhood, every child is taught that apart from physiological or biological or physical differences that a male and female have, there are also certain attributes or certain roles or certain behavioral pattern that is expected of a male and a female. So this happens right from the birth of a child. So this process by which the child learns the difference based on gender is called as gender socialization. Let me repeat. What is gender socialization? The process of which a child learns the difference based on gender is called as gender socialization. Now, when does this gender socialization start? It starts right from the birth of an infant. Now, if you see, when a child is born, even in the hospitals, you could notice that when a child is born, based on the gender of the child, colors are chosen. So, blue is for boys, whereas pink blankets or pink dress is for girls. So, you can see how gender socialization happens right from the time a child or an infant is born. And the other things that decide, or the other factors that are responsible for gender socialization are the family members themselves play certain roles which is copied or which is imitated by the younger generation. So this is like a process, a chain process that happens from generations together. So the way a father the roles that a father play is copied, or he is seen as a role model for the son, and what a mother does or the roles that she plays is what influences the daughter. So these family members are the role models for the children, and this behavior of the adults is passed on to the younger generation as well. And the next factor is the books. So books also play a very dominant role in gender socialization. Now when the kids read certain books, they see the certain gender roles that is played in the characters there, and also the differences that is there between the gender. The same is in the case of cinema, television programs. Everywhere the gender stereotype or gender roles and behaviors are depicted. Now family, books, cinema or television, that is media, and also the toys play a very subtle role in the in gender socialization. So when you see the kind of toys given to girls and boys, girls are given dolls, they are given kitchen set, whereas boys are given guns, tanks, Superman or Spider-Man, and girls are given Barbie dolls and kitchen set. Now there is a subtle message given here or sent across to the students that what is expected of them, expected or and accepted of the girls, is that to look good, they have to groom themselves and also cook and look after the family. Whereas for the boys, what is the subtle message that is sent through the toys that is given to them? You have to be brave, you have to be aggressive, you have to be adventurous like all the superheroes that you know or you have seen, and guns where you can defend yourself, about self-defense. So this also plays a very important role in gender socialization. Even the words used in day-to-day life also suggests gender. Now for a newborn baby, the words often used are cute, tiny, soft, delicate, whereas for boys, strong, hard, handsome. So in the process of growing up, the children also learn gender stereotypes or gender stereotyped characteristics, like female are emotional, they are soft, they can be easily convinced, they are patient, they are nurturing, they are multitasking and caring. Whereas male, they are strong, unemotional because they don't cry, rational, and they are logical. Whereas women are just known for their beauty, and they are supposed to play the roles that is expected by the society.